it's the black gold. It's the, you know, it's just the most valuable thing I can have. So you've got to be very careful with it, sparing with it. And you've also got, when it comes to soil, if you're growing lots of vegetables, that's quite a lot of expenditure, okay? So they're quite hungry plants and you need to replace that nutrient. And composting is the best way to do it because it's a free gift into that nutrient. I just think that really important that you need how you mix your compost, browns and greens, carbons and nitrogens, okay? So every weed you put in, put a little bit of shredded paper or a bit of cardboard. So you're building up a balance, 50-50 of carbons and nitrogens, okay? And that will make sure it doesn't sweat, or you'll get the right, and the microactivity will be all right, okay? There's two ways of dealing with it once you've got that into the compost bin. You can either cold compost or hot compost. Cold compost means just leave it, let it get on with it, okay? Hot compost is when you start to play a role in the temperature of it. This is by turning it, you're putting in air, oxygen, and you're putting in moisture as well, and that just accelerates it up, and that's hot composting, okay? I'm a big believer on this. Some people go piling into the compost bin with their fork. I actually have a lot of slow worms on my allotment, and so I always go in and turn it with my arms. Another thing you might want to do for air is I sometimes put cereal packets in, but I don't crush them. I leave them whole, and this allows air pockets into the compost bin as well. And that just kind of, especially for cold composting, that allows oxygen in and just gets the microorganisms moving and going, okay? So I would do this, you constantly feed your compost, but this is the time of year I'd probably turn it, and I'd use compost in the spring to revigorate my beds, and I'd retain some as a mulch around courgettes and beans and things that don't want to dry out, and if they do dry out you get a lot of mildews and moulds on them. So for mulching and for dressing tops of compost, the tops of compost for the season ahead, all right? And just always remember the soil is an ecosystem, and like all ecosystems it needs to be fed. So by your composting you're doing that. So lots of shredded paper, lots of weeds, mix them together 50-50, turn it with your arms. If you want to speed it up and water it with a watering can. If you just want to just cold compost it, takes a lot longer, still the same job, just let it be.